Hi, this is Alan Shea, and I'm here today with Our Society, and we're here with one of our own here in Altadena, Pasadena area, and she's going to share her new program and how she is inspired to share with the community.
Hi, I'm Tanya Fairley, and we're here at the Women's City Club of Pasadena, and today's program is Fatherless Daughters, and what it is for women with unavailable, unattached, or absent fathers, and hoping to bridge the gap between women and their relationships with fathers and help them to overcome any barriers that they may have based on that relationship. What they get out of the program is love, acceptance, and forgiveness, and helps them to move on to a better tomorrow. Hello, hello, hello. My brother or my mama. But you know what? Those fights weren't mine. But I took them upon myself because I was so angry. I was so mad. And I wanted to blame. Yeah, at that point, I shouldn't have been in the situation that I was in. But even through the situation that I was in, God saw fit to bring someone into my life that was going to take care of me, accept me as their own. We walk down the street with my mom and my sister, and people be like, girl, you look just like your mama. They know that's my foster mom for 33 years, but yeah, I look just like her, act like her too. But I had to address it. I had to address rage and anger so that I can accept the love. I had to address it. I had to address the feelings of rejection and abandonment. Because for me, if your own biological mother don't want you, how could somebody else want you? What? If my own mother and father could not stay around for me, how could anybody else be there for me? What's wrong with this world? You guys talking about your aunties love you and this person love you and nobody was there for me? So guess what? I wouldn't give my heart to nobody. Why? Because I didn't deal with my stuff. I'm telling y'all, when y'all get through out here, be like, okay, we're gonna deal with some stuff. So, what does a girl need? I do a workshop called What a Girl Wants, What a Girl Needs, right? And that's, when I tell you, you talk about what a girl wants, what a girl needs, and we're talking about men. We're talking about love from a man. We're talking about you young men right here who might want to get a girlfriend. Right here, we about to hook you up. 4 primary essential needs a girl must receive from her father. 1, his provision. Why do we need his provision? Yes.
I believe it has to do with her self-worth, that he sees that she has basic needs and he loves her to provide for her.
Yep, just the basic things. It's not rocket science, right? But I'm gonna tell you what happens a lot of times with our young men, our men, and our young women. See, ladies, we're guilty. Those of you who have children. Those of you who got my baby daddy issues. See, we're guilty. We put this wedge in between men and their children because he don't want to be with me, or he didn't say what I wanted him to say, or he didn't come over when he said he was going to come over. So what happens? We start to taint. We start to put a wedge and not allow this man to provide what he can provide at that moment in his life for his child. And if it's a girl, we're doing more damage than anything. With today, how society is right now, they're killing our men off like there ain't nothing, like there's no tomorrow. For every man they kill, I always wonder how many daughters does he have in his life? How many women are in his life? Because they've just become a statistic. We have to do something about it. And it starts with us, it really does. We can blame that man all we want to. But it does, it starts with us. His protection. Protection. We just want to feel like we're safe, right? As a girl, growing up, my dad, let me tell you how I knew I was safe. Let a boy walk in my door with a baseball hat on. Daddy cocking the gun, making him walk back out the door and try it again. Now for me, that's what I knew. But for another young lady, she's gonna fall down, her daddy's gonna be there to pick her up. We just wanna feel like you got our back. That our daddy is our, that's our rock. His presence. It goes back to us, ladies. A lot of times his presence isn't there because of the things that we've done, how we've alienated him. Got real quiet on that part, huh? Everybody's putting their head down. His praise. What does girls want to hear from their daddy? Good job. What else do we want to hear? What do we want to hear from a man?
You're beautiful.
Yeah. I walked into my husband and I was like, look at this. What? Look at this.
You look like, oh, new word for your vocabulary. Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful.
We want to feel like we are the most important person in their eye. I got some friends in this room who are daddy's girls, who can tell you how well put their father was when it came to emotional connection with them. Showering them with the emotions, how much they love them, how much he loves them and adores them. But I didn't have that. And according to statistics, because I was missing that, I shouldn't be standing here in front of you. But we have a choice. We make a choice. And we have a choice to understand that some of these things are missing and work on them for ourselves, or keep them as a crutch. And if anybody knows me, one thing you know about me is I don't allow much to keep me down. Never have, never will, and I'm raising 3 children to follow in my footsteps. Now, before y'all shoot me, the ones that, are workaholics and all that, I'm working on that. I'm trying to tell them that, at my ripe old age of almost 45, you don't have to have 10 jobs. I'm learning that. I'm down to 3, so just give me a little bit. But the relationship between a girl and her father, a woman and her man are so important. But we got to deal with some stuff. And unless we deal with some stuff, you're going to keep alienating them. Talked about it. We receive our identity through our fraternal relationships and connection. What's more, when this neglects to happen in a female's life, we spend our entire lives trying to discover ourselves and search for love through paths that do not serve us. Yet our pain will never heal until we heal our misplaced self-identity. See, it doesn't matter what your relationship is with your father, whether you had a good one or a bad one or a sometimey one, whether you had one that didn't start until late in life, you have to decide for yourself that you want to be a better person. And holding on to anger and rage is not going to help you. It's not going to do anything for you, and it's not going to do anything for the people around you. And what I've learned through my journey, I met my biological father when I was 23. By then, I was married, on my second kid, on the separation, working like a dog, not really knowing what it was that I wanted out of life, even at that time. Because we think we're grown at 23, right? Think you got it all figured out. I thought I was grown at 17. I moved out when I was 17. My mom cried, my daddy said bye. Like, it was just one of those things, right? And I know some of you guys are wondering, she keep talking about her mother. I was in a foster home. And when I got placed in a foster home, the moment I got placed in that foster home, I knew that I was where I was supposed to be. Because my foster mom, this only time you ever hear me refer to her as my foster mom is in this setting. Ever. No one is allowed to refer to her as my foster mom, because that's my mother. She has raised me for 33 years. She has taken care of me and guided me for 33 years. And I tell you, if it wasn't for her and her love and her support, I'd be a statistic. Because according to statistics, I'm not supposed to be loved either. Damn statistics, right? But when I tell you, we're talking about healing pain and heal our misplaced sense of identity, we got to know who we are. And we got to know whose we are. And it's never too late to discover that. It's not too late to discover that. And if you're having daddy issues of whatever sort, you have to acknowledge them. You got to be in a place where you say, you know what? This has happened, life goes on, I'm ready to accept it, I'm gonna forgive him, and I need to move on. Not move on past him being your father, whatever role he plays, but move on from him holding you back. Move on from him, from his life overshadowing the things that you want to do. Because that's what happens when we don't heal our misplaced sense of identity. We're searching. We're placing our identity in somebody else. It kills me when my husband and I go somewhere. This is Lamont's wife. Excuse me, my name is Tanya. I worked hard for this identity. Right? When you've shaped yourself and you've gotten yourself to a place where you're okay with who you are and whose you are, it makes a difference. The healing process can now begin. Because of misplaced sense of identity, we begin to have feelings of rejection, feelings of unworthiness. Many fatherless daughters start to view themselves inaccurately. We begin to hold a self-image that makes us believe that we are somehow unloved and unlovable. And that self-image controls everything we think, say, or do. Our lives will never be different from what our self-image says we are. See, people have my life pegged. They did. I wasn't gonna be nothing. I wasn't gonna go anywhere because I didn't have any examples in my immediate life from the age of 0 to 12 to show me that there was something better. But there was always something planted in me. I used to read when I was 3 and 4 years old with the newspaper upside down. And you would swear I was having a conversation with a whole lot of people because I was just going. So that tells me at an early age, there was something in me that said, you're gonna be better than your circumstances. You're gonna be better than what you've seen. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand what it was, but I knew that there was something there. I knew that at some point in my life, I wasn't gonna forever be homeless. I knew that at some point in my life, I wasn't gonna forever be hungry. And you know, what kills me is when you look around and look at people that are supposed to be there to help you and protect you, the things they do to keep you down, right? See, I had to learn to even forgive those people. I had to learn to forgive the auntie that we went over to her house because we were hungry. And people know me, if you know me now, I ain't changed much. I'm a very picky eater. Very picky eater. My husband used to say, you're not gonna eat anything? No. You don't go to bed hungry? I'm gonna drink some water, I don't want that. But growing up, when you're in a homeless situation and you're hungry, and you go someone and you ask them to feed you, and they take a cold hot dog out the refrigerator and dip it in Miracle Whip and tell you, here, eat this. See, those are the kind of people that were in my life. And you know what? To this day, I thank them. I thank them. Because had not I seen how evil people could be, had I not seen that with my own eyes, I don't know if my heart could be as loving as it is today. But I had to deal with some things. I had to forgive those people. I had to forgive the people when we got ready to get placed in the foster home and the social workers called them and said, this girl cannot go into the system. This girl's getting straight A's. She's on the cheerleading team. She's doing after school sports. We need family to come to her rescue so she's not put into the system. And all my family said, that's Betty's daughter. We don't want her. See, I had to forgive those people. Was it easy? Nope. Did I get angry? Yes. Did it make me a better person? Sure it did. And I can look back on my life right now to this day, and I still say thank you. Doesn't mean that I don't get angry every now and then when I think about it. My poor husband, I had to quit telling him stuff because he was gonna run somebody over. Because it happens. It happens. And we are created to build our image. See, people think they know us because they see us when we're younger. So they think that your circumstances are who you're gonna be in 20 years. They don't see past the surface. They don't see past your circumstances. And when you're a young kid, you don't see past that either. All you're looking at is, okay, I need a place to play and a place to go to sleep. You're hungry, I need to go to somebody's house to feed me. Somebody should be willing to open the door to do that. But when you've gotten rejection after rejection after rejection, there's only two things you can do. Two things. You're either gonna play into that, or you're gonna put your big girl panties on and make something out yourself. And I learned that very, very early. I talk about self-image because at some point in your life, you have to decide you want more. At the end of the day, it's about you. And when you're creating your own self-image, not the one people think you should be, not the one that people have told you, but what is it that you want for yourself in your life? What is it that you want? I knew early on I wanted to be a hairdresser. I was cutting everybody's dolls, neighbors' hair, kids' hair, people's hair that I shouldn't have been touching. I knew that early on. But I also knew that people were telling me, oh, you can't do that. That requires skill. That requires money. That requires, I was like, I'm gonna make money. I didn't have early on, when I first had that dream of being a hairdresser, I didn't have nobody telling me, you know what, you can be whatever you want to be. My daughter told me when she was in the 8th grade or 7th grade, she wanted to be a dancer. See, I messed her up with this one. She's like, oh yeah, I want to be a dancer. I said, no, you want to own your own dance studio. They were like, well, you got to let her get through the steps first. I said, no, I need to put that in her mind. You can be whatever you want to be, own it. Own it. Create your own identity. Become a brand new you. Every time somebody talks to me about an idea, I'm thinking about how they can be an entrepreneur. I'm not thinking about going to get funding and go work for corporate America. That my mind does not work that way. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't. But what I do know is that when we release the old limiting self-images and begin to see ourselves as who we are and what we really are, we will automatically become that person. That I know for sure. With a new and authenticated self-image of a person who is loved and lovable, we will no longer search for approval and validation outside of ourselves. When this shift happens, we will be able to create anything we want in life. The sky is the limit. Your imagination is your best friend. See, my circumstances had said to me that I was not supposed to be anything other than my circumstances right at that point. I was raised in a foster home. I was abused by my natural mother. I have 20% hearing in my left ear. I was molested. I was homeless. I was hungry. I still got good grades in school. I still beat the boys on the basketball court. I beat you up too. All of that was going on at an early age. But see, then something happened. A shift happened. God started placing people in my life that said to me, you are not your circumstances. So what, your father's not here? And why are you holding on to that as an excuse? See, I had a double whammy. I didn't have my birth mother or my birth father. So I had a whole lot of stuff going on that I could have easily just let dictate how my life was going to be. But I decided that I wanted more. I wanted to be more. And I started seeking out the relationships. I sought out looking for my birth father. Here I was in my 20s, and I said, I need to meet this man. Now, the circumstances behind me meeting him, my grandmother had gotten very, very ill. His mother had gotten very, very ill, and she was dying. This man had been on drugs and alcohol my entire life. He had lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and then decided that he was getting out of jail, he was gonna come back to California. Well, on his way here, on the bus, my grandmother passed away. It was his mother. He hadn't seen her in 17 years, because that's how long he had been in prison. 17 years. Statistics will say, because I didn't have my natural mother or father, that again, I'm not supposed to be here. Statistics will still say that because I have 20% hearing in my left ear, that I'm not supposed to be anything because my life was so tragic. I saw my life as a learning lesson of how I would not treat my kids, how I would not treat my friends, how now if you come to my house, me and my husband trying to feed you the whole entire refrigerator. These are the things that you pick up. These are the positive things that you pick up. And what I had to do when I decided I knew I was going to take a different journey, I had to deal with some stuff. One of the things that I did, and you guys, I don't know if everybody got a chance to meet. This is my husband right here. This is Lamont Fairley. Hi, honey. One of the things that I did was I had to apologize to my husband. Because I knew that when I met him, I was broken. But you wouldn't know that. I had it going on. Had a nice job, had a nice car, had good kids. Well, kind of good kids. I had what everybody would say I wasn't supposed to have. I had it. And I did it. And I was supposed to be happy and everything was all glorious. But inside, I was broken. I was broken. And in my brokenness, I had to come to the realization that God sent a man to me to love me beyond my faults, to love me with 2 children and a whole lot of baggage. And I told him I had to deal with some stuff. So I told him that I was sorry. That I was sorry that I wasn't allowing him to be the husband to me that God wanted him to be. That I wasn't allowing him to love me and me accept the love that he was giving me because I was so broken. I had to tell my children that I love them beyond their faults because nobody is perfect. I had to learn to deal with some stuff. And I cried for a long time. And I said, this doesn't make me weak. Because see, remember guys, I didn't have no examples of marriages and mothers and fathers, and so I didn't have that. But at the time that my mother stepped in, I knew I had love. She was able to penetrate my heart enough for me to accept her love. My dad at the time, the same way. He showed me what he could as what a father was supposed to be like. My friends, there was people that were just coming around that were doing things for me in my life that my own family would not do. But I had to deal with some things in order to accept that. So I stand here and I tell you that because statistics may say you should be one place and you're in another place, it's not over. It's not over. Men with children, because whatever your situation is, it's not over. See, you're learning how to communicate with your daughter right now. You're learning what she needs. She needs love, she needs protection, she needs acceptance, she needs praise. So whenever that chance, that opportunity comes, that's what you give her, regardless of the circumstances. When you get ready to get a girlfriend, you got a girlfriend? You will know, you'll understand what they need. It's not over. It's not over. Because had it been over for me, I wouldn't be going in 10 years of marriage. Happy years, I ain't left them one time. I know I'm blessed. I know God has been in my life with me the whole entire time. And people sometimes say, well, how can you say that so confidently? You've had such a terrible life. Look what I've learned. Look what I've learned. See, it doesn't take you not having a mother and father to not learn anything. But look what I've learned. Look at what I've been able to do. And it's all by the grace of God. See, I don't stand here and say that I did anything by myself. Because without him, I am nothing. But all the people he placed in my life, my mother was 3,000 miles across the country when they called her and told her we were being placed in a foster home. She turned around from Chicago to come back and get us. She turned around from Chicago to come back and get us. That's love. No biological connection. But y'all can't say nothing to my mom or hurt you. Just saying. That's love.
I am just so proud that you brought this here for the viewers to see for themselves how empowering it can be to overcome and to have a real sense of forgiveness about their past.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey, and I look forward to speaking to you guys again.
Well, thank you very much. We have someone who came all the way from Ireland, Jenny Bell. Why don't you share with us how your flight, and then what did you think of today's presentation so far?
Well, I landed from a 10-hour flight yesterday, and I decided I'm going to jet leap instead of jet lag.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm leaping.
Oh,
I'm not lagging, I'm leaping.
All right, I like that.
Moving forward.
That's it.
Yeah, what I think of now is just I'm noticing. That's what I think this has done for me, is that I'm recognizing different areas where I need to lift the limits off, you know, and just let this flow come again, so that I can be what my earthly dad wanted me to be and what my heavenly dad wants me to be, you know.
Why don't you share with the viewers, what did you think about tonight's show so far?
I am elated. The information that's included is so inclusive, it's so warm, and who would know that Tanya went through all this before she became who she is.
We have Christine with us today, and what did you think of the show so far?
I really liked what she had to say. It's really true. You can have a father present, but yet they're emotionally and mentally not available to you, and that can impacted my life in a negative way. I think a lot of women need to hear this information. It's just important, especially now in our world. There's so much busyness. It's hard for families to stay connected, and I think this is awesome. If you get a hold of Tanya Farley's information for seminar, you can also go to fatherlessdaughters.net. Look up that information. If you have a friend you know struggles with fatherlessness or symptoms of fatherlessness, you know, let her know how much you care about her and that there's help out there. I just think that coming to something like this, or reading a book about it, or you know, educating yourself on the symptoms of fatherlessness, even if you think you don't have them, even if you had a dad in the house, doesn't hurt you. I think just talking to your neighbors, talk about it.
Wow.
Talk. I think that's reaching out is the most important thing.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. Well, I think that's a good way to end it tonight. We're going to talk about it and hopefully really get everybody involved with being open about this.